What's going on, you guys? This is Luke with Dark Fiction Factory. Now, I don't really like to do traditional book reviews on this channel, but there are some novels that I come across that I love so much that I want to talk about them, and I need to bring them to the attention of others. Now, the novel I'm referring to today has got quite a bit of buzz, so I really wanted to talk about it. It's called Baby Teeth by Zoje Stage. Now, to be honest, I actually went on YouTube and I watched a bunch of other videos on this book to see how to pronounce this author's name, and literally I watched 4 videos and all 4 of them pronounced the name differently. So yeah, I'm gonna say Zoje Stage, but regardless, Baby Teeth. I love the cover art. It looks a really cool design, especially for the theme of the book. So I'm not going to delve too deep into the book, but there are going to be some minor spoilers in this video. So Baby Teeth is a 2018 novel about a mother named Suzette who is struggling with Crohn's disease, and she's in a actually pretty loving marriage with Alex, who is this good father, good husband, but he's also a very busy architect, so he's not really around very much. And together they have a 7-year-old daughter, and on the surface everything looks really great, but the 7-year-old daughter, Hannah, has yet to speak a word. She's never said a word in her entire life, which is sort of an endless source of frustration and worry for Suzette, who has, for better or worse, become a stay-at-home mom. And these problems intensify because while Hannah is very sweet and very loving with Alex, the father figure, she seems to have this odd, very deep, loathing hatred for her mother, Suzette, which we are privy to very early on in the book. So right off the bat, we know that this little girl has these borderline psychopathic thoughts about her mother. Things intensify when Hannah does start to speak because she only talks to her mother. And without spoiling too much, when she does talk, she's not really speaking in her own little girl voice. So the book is told from 2 perspectives that bounce back and forth pretty quickly. Every chapter is fairly short, and it bounces back and forth between the perspective of the mother and the daughter. So we'll see a scene sort of set up through the mother's eyes, and then we see how it plays out through the daughter's eyes. And that juxtaposition is very interesting and at times very chilling and very disturbing. The book isn't afraid to put you deep inside the head of a struggling and at times very regretful and even sometimes very vengeful mother, or the devious, scheming, psychopath little 7-year-old. The book really sort of gets in your mind and really starts making you wonder what's happening here. There's these subtle hints of something maybe supernatural, or is it sort of a mental illness, or is the girl just truly a psychopath? And to be honest, it also is a pretty good metaphor for struggles of parenthood. I think, I'm a parent myself, and anybody that's a parent knows, kids can test you at times. They can really try your patience to the maximum, right? And I think every parent at some point has these dark thoughts that think like, well, if only this would be the case, or if only that would be the case. And, I think a lot of parents have those sort of deep feelings at some point. I think that's only natural. And this book does a really good job of sort of dramatizing that to the extreme and putting us in the head of a mother who is just dealing with sort of these unfathomable circumstances while trying to just hold her life together and the life of her family. If you've ever read books like We Need to Talk About Kevin or Head Full of Ghosts, I find that this book is very reminiscent of those. So if you had enjoyed stuff like that, I think you would find something good here. It's a book that does let you sort of evaluate things on your own. It's not a book that is going to have, a whole chapter or this big scene where a character steps up and just delivers all this exposition that explains everything nice and tidy. It's really not that kind of book. It's a book that when it's over, you're really left to sort of think it through. It gives you an opportunity to go back and really sort of diagnose the characters on your own and come to your own conclusions. So that's where it will split audiences. Personally, I love a little bit more ambiguity in an ending that lets me sort of wrestle with it and think about it, and the book sort of stays with you afterwards. But if you're the type of person who likes things really spelled out, I think those are the people who will probably not enjoy this book as much. I don't know if all the versions of this book are like this, but in the paperback that I had, which is right here, there's actually a list, I think 9 or 10 sort of discussion questions, almost like you're in high school and you just read this book and now you have to discuss it with the class. But it was a really cool touch because if you read through those questions, it really gives you a chance to sort of go back through the book and really sort of come up with your own theories and your own ideas. And I thought that was a really nice touch, and it's something that I don't think I've ever seen in just a normal novel before. Anyway, I don't want this video to go on too long. I think I've already given enough away, but I will just say that this is the type of book that hung with me. It's stuck in my mind. I couldn't quite get it out of my head for a few days after reading it. And quite frankly, it was one of those books that when I got towards the end, I started to kind of slow down. I typically read really fast, but I started to really slow down the pages because I was sad when it was over, and I thought this book ended on such a good note. It's a very emotional gut punch, but it doesn't go too far. This is a book that is very grounded in reality, and it doesn't sort of jump the shark at the end and go crazy where it kind of pulls you out of the story. So I really appreciated that. I really love this book. I highly recommend it. But anyway, that's going to do it for today's video, you guys. If you have read this book before, feel free to drop a comment below and let me know what you think. If you agree with me or you thought this book was terrible, I would love to hear your thoughts as well. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video. We'll be back soon with more content here on Dark Fiction Factory. Until next time, guys, take care.